What's up, guys? Going into my first game against real people on Gorgon. I did play a couple of games against AI just as I was getting ready for work. Didn't really have time for a full match, so I jumped into an AI game so I could either get a quick win or just leave without any issues. So there's a couple things. I'm going to go into a 1-1-1 build with Spider Trap, Web, and Acid. I'm sure that that's going to change as I get more experience with the monster, and then I'm going to take cooldown reduction for this first one. Did I take cooldown damage? I don't know. One of those two I'm going to be playing with. I don't even remember what I picked already. But yeah, so a couple things that I'm concerned with is mainly around Mimic. I'm going to take a couple points into Mimic at stage 2, see if I can make use of it. These guys are bronze. I was in this queue for like 15 minutes, so I shouldn't have too hard of a time, but we'll see. I actually had a bit of a hard time in one of my AI matches, which is a little bit worrisome. I'm not sure exactly how to get through Hank's shield, and there's a Hank in this match, very easily. Like, there's not... Your burst is Mimic, but Mimic is kind of a finicky ability where you can't really use it when you're up in the face of someone, and I'm going to test that a little bit more, test that theory a bit more, especially against these bronze guys, see if I can even use it in the face of them. When I'm right here. It's nice getting CDR early on. I did take a little bit of health damage, which is a mistake, but I'm kind of still getting used to how long it takes for Acid to actually kill things. A thing about Gorgon's abilities is it's more about them getting a larger area of effect than getting damage. I don't think their abilities scale with damage, besides maybe Mimic. But Mimic does a substantial amount of damage, like a rock throw amount of damage, if you can land it. The problem is actually landing it and then capitalizing it after you land it, right? Because you kind of have to break line of sight, because there's a small, I don't know, it's like 2 seconds before you can actually explode it right after using it. So I want to test that out a little bit during this game, see how it works. I'll probably test it out against the first silvers or golds I get as well, just to see how badly I'll probably lose using it, but we'll see. My initial thought behind it is that I will not be able to use Mimic. I think it's going to be very specific. This is going to be kind of annoying. That is a Tyrant buff, so I kind of want to keep that in the back of my mind if they don't take it right here. But yeah, they were right there, so I have to leave. I need to get Evolve ready. I don't want to play too stupid. I might actually, if I can juke them here, I might actually try to get an Evolve, so I might go up, well, no, they have it. I was going to go up towards that ship. I don't remember exactly where it is, because I haven't used it forever. I haven't used that since the alpha or beta days. But there's a ship up in the trees over there. I was going to see if I could web stick to it, and see if they would leave me alone, but right now I'll just skirt around the outside edge, see if I can get enough distance to try out the new evolving thing where you get 25% armor. And if they dome me off of that, I'll see how survivable I can be with 25% armor, to see if it's really necessary to take a dome, or if you might be able to get away with that more often now. Because I do like sneaking, and I don't really play the sneak game all that much anymore, because you can just run and get full evolve meter and then take a fight and get a free evolve because they don't have dome. And that was kind of like the meta way back before this patch, so at least the way that I played it. So I'm wondering if I can change that up and not even take a fight at stage 1, if I can get enough distance. You want to have at least a 50% chance of not getting domed, I would say, and then that other 50% chance, as long as you don't lose outright or lose a substantial amount of your health, it should be okay. So let's take 2 points into that, and maybe I'll go into Web Snare. I don't know what her other core ability would be. I don't know that Mimic I can even make that a core ability. I'd like to because it's high damage, but that's kind of what I'm testing right now. Ooh, they missed their dome, just barely though. I do still really hate her traversal in air, so when you're using her traversal, and I thought in the patch notes it said that this was fixed, but clearly it either was worse than it was now, or it wasn't fixed at all. I should not be trying to eat this. They don't have a dome up, so it's not super dangerous, but there was no way that was going to work for me. I did get one hunter, you can see it back there, with that spider trap. So a little spider that you throw out kind of burrows into the ground, and when a hunter gets close, it grabs them like a plant, and then it kind of runs away with them to a certain leash range based on the level of the ability. But yeah, we'll see if I can show you that that stamina thing I'm talking about, or this traversal thing I'm talking about. Basically, when you use it and then you're in air, it stops all of your momentum from the previous one. So it's almost like you should almost wait until you land on the ground before using another one to get the maximum amount out of the traversal, and it feels kind of weird to use. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it does feel a little bit weird. I don't know why these birds aren't going off. Alright, so I wouldn't mind trying to take a fight here. I didn't take one. They got me domed, so that's good. I'll give them a little bit of time. Let's try to use this mimic a bit. Alright, that was not the way that you use that. I wasn't close enough. There's going to be some bad plays here. Just so everyone is aware. But I'm still learning this monster. Let's try and mimic again. I think I got Trapper, it looks like. It's a little bit hard for me to gauge my distance from them for some reason. I don't know, it's just an ability that, like, the type of ability it is kind of unique. Alright, I got someone again. That's not too bad, but I'm not sure that it's good yet. It might just be because I'm up against bronze guys. The main issue I have with it is even if you can use it pretty often, you kind of have to be yourself, your body is kind of away from the hunter after you use it, right? So like I'm way up here now, and by the time that I get to the person, they're probably already going to be healed up or cloaked, as it is in this circumstance. Let's see if I can get this guy. I do like Web Snare and its ability. So right there, I wasn't able to get my damage from Mimic off because it got killed before it was ready to explode. Now, I'm not sure if you get the time needed for Mimic, and if it gets like killed, if you still explode or not. I don't think you do, and I think it's intended that you will not be able to explode if you get destroyed. Like, you actually have to press the 4 button to destroy the Mimic, or explode the Mimic when you're close to someone, and if you die before you hit that button, it doesn't explode at all. I think that's how it's intended, and probably how it's working as well. I hear that spider going off. It's kind of cool. I do like the spiders. That's probably my favorite ability so far. I like Web and Acid Spray, but I don't think I'm quite good at using them yet. I don't know. Web is very similar to Vortex, but the damage isn't quite as much, I don't think. You trade damage for crowd control. And the obvious capitalization on that crowd control is Acid Spray. I'm not sure if you can really capitalize with Mimic, so I'm almost feeling like Mimic is kind of an ability in its own, where you can do a build like focused around Mimic, but it doesn't really go well with your other abilities. Maybe Spider Trap it goes decently well with, because you don't really have to be line of sighted for Spider Trap to work. So I was actually hoping they would follow me. It looks like one person. Is that Val? That looks like Val all by herself. So let's see how I can do this. I'm going to throw down the spider behind her, try to cut off that retreat path, see how it works. Doesn't look like she's going towards that area. So I'm going to use Mimic. That didn't even hit. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I needed to get in front of her, probably. I jumped the gun on that. Definitely still learning. I think if that was any other monster, I would have been able to down Veil pretty quickly there. I'm still learning how to capitalize on like the amount of damage you can do. I need to learn what's better to spec into versus like Acid Spray and Web, the Web ability. Which one's better for damage? Probably Acid. Yeah, that died instantly, so you can't really use it in the face of people, even if they're bronze. That was a pretty good... Oh my god, these harpoons. I was gonna say that's a pretty good orbital. See if this one works. Alright, I got it there. It can be usable. You just have to wait until people aren't paying attention to you. The spider traps almost serves as a distraction when someone gets hit by it, because at least one person has to turn, look at the spider, and shoot the spider. So generally that's not going to be the medic. It's either going to be one of the other classes can deal enough damage to be able to get them out of it. Slim would be okay to get someone out of the trap because he has high DPS, but the other ones, not as much. So we'll test this out. I'm thinking they might catch up to me. For some reason I can't click my abilities. That's kind of weird, I can't do anything. I'm gonna alt-tab real quick, see if that helps. Okay, for some reason it's working now. I don't know what was happening there. Good thing they didn't deal a ton of damage to me. For some reason I couldn't choose any abilities at stage 3. Alright, well I'm okay. I'll have to figure that out and see if it's a bug that people know about. I might add something in this video if I figure it out. Add like a little text prompt or whatever. Or maybe it was just a one-time thing, I don't really know. Alright. I'm not doing a good job at like focusing on the right targets this game. Because I'm more about just like using the flashy new abilities rather than actually targeting the people I'm supposed to be targeting. Because I should not be going after Trapper during this dome. Alright, the Mimic dies really quick when there's like any damage coming towards you. They have damage buff as well. I don't think I'm really in danger of losing this game. That was good. You can almost use your body as like a shield for the Mimic if you really need to deal damage, but that's kind of weird to say, right? Like, you would never want to do that. I'm not sure if that would do anything. Like, if they're gonna follow me, if that acid spray would deter them at all. It probably wouldn't last long enough. The spider traps do really well because they last forever, and even if they destroy them and they don't get caught, which is the worst case, you'll still have to shoot at it. I guess the worst case is if they don't go that same path that you're going. But if they do, if anyone follows you directly at all, they'll either have to shoot the spider trap and maybe waste some jetpack at like dodging it backwards, or they'll get trapped and some other part of their team has to like pay attention to that area, and that'll slow them down quite a bit. So yeah, I'm not really in danger of losing this game. Like, I have it pretty controlled, I think. I don't know how many down penalties I have, at least 2, I know that much. And I only have taken a bar of health. And I think half of that was Mammoth Bird that hit me early on, so... I need to get better at aiming the acid, because a lot of the time when they're a decent distance away, I'm like shooting it at my feet to start off, because you have to like angle it up. There's not really that type of ballistics in the game at all. That was actually a good try by Hank trying to get me with the orbital while I was using Mimic. Yeah, there's not really any other monster ability that you have to like aim above the hunter, because there's so much drop on it. I want to test out this Mimic a little bit more. It goes down really quick, like 2 rockets takes it down. I feel like that's going to be the ability that's really hard to balance for Turtle Rock, because if you're really good at aiming and you hit it enough, it's going to explode almost instantly. And if like the team's pretty bad and uncoordinated, you could just like wreck because it does so much damage. They're gonna have to find some sort of a middle ground, or it'll either be useless against some teams or really good against others. So it's hard for me to say that that's like her core ability. I'm gonna probably try it at least one more time against silver or above. That was a good orbital. Okay, that was a good dome actually. Alright, I hit her with that. So I mean that's pretty good when you break line of sight and you're close enough to capitalize on it. Like, it is Trapper, so it's kind of annoying that you can't really choose the target you're going for. And if that was an assault, they could just pop their shield and it wouldn't really matter. But like that worked out really well for me. So you almost have to lead with Mimic, as opposed to other monsters where you use like Rock Throw as a finisher, and the other ones to like prime it up. You kind of use that to initiate, and then try to follow it up with your other abilities. I'm sure I can make it work with a little bit of practice. I'm wondering though if I can win without using Mimic at all. If I'll have enough damage to do that, because it might be more consistent of a playstyle. I'm also wondering if I can melee attack with Mimic. It looks like I can, I don't know if it'll do damage. Yeah, it does, okay. Alright. I don't know when that will come into play. Mimic actually looks really cool though. There's like a bunch of hair just like blowing off of you. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure where they are right now. Okay, they're over there. Not really sure. I'll throw down one of those. I think they might be guarding damage buff. I think Sloth was over there. I don't really need it to win. I might look for it in a second though. If I pull them back in here. Can at least force its shield out. I missed with that spider. Not really, actually. I think it's up on top, so it's okay. It is very difficult to use acid when someone has jetpack. You really do want to lead with your web to force it so that they can't get as much vertical like momentum going. So once they're already in the air, you can't really hit with acid spray. I'm also kind of noticing that the direct damage of acid spray is actually almost minimal. Like, there might not be any at all, and you might want to spread it out a little bit more. I don't know where Hank went. I am actually timing out, so technically they have a chance, because eventually I'm not going to be able to just run and get armor. And it's not even really that I'm toying with them, it's just that I don't know properly how to deal damage with this monster yet. Like, Mimic is the one ability that I know I can use to deal a lot of damage, but the other ones it feels almost kind of minimal. I don't think I'm comboing well though. I need to be using web in conjunction with acid, and I don't think I'm doing that enough. I think that's probably my main issue. But it's a learning experience. I'm kind of glad that this first game was against bronze, because I probably would have gotten wrecked by silver or above. Alright, so Hank's dead. Let's make sure Daisy dies. Time's gonna be frozen at 2 minutes, so I'll probably eat Daisy unless they come down here. Maybe I'll even eat Hank. If I can. I don't know where they ran off to. I'll just go after the relay. Let's see if this works. As soon as they start to come in, I want to like break off and see if I can get that spider to help. The spider died instantly. Going off over to this side. See if I can get a sneak pounce on him. I love her sneak animation. Looks so good. That had to be terrifying. Yeah, this should be really good. If he doesn't die outright, he's gonna lose his entire shield. She should be healing him on the way. Yeah. He's a little late. I think she probably could have saved him if she was killing him as she was running. But instead she had her sniper trying to hit me. Alright, they did get her dropship though, so I don't want to toy with them too much. Because if I have to run and get armor, I only have like maybe one more chance to get armor before I'll have to go all in. And I don't actually think that Gorgon's a very good all-in monster. Just because of the way that her kit functions as like slowly chipping away at people. It's almost better to kill one and run than to just try to win outright, I think. But that might be incorrect. If I get better at like using acid spray to hit multiple hunters or something, you might be able to kill like 2 people at once and then they won't have enough to stop you. Alright, I think this is the last person alive. Go into the spider. I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm trying to like lead her with the acid spray and seeing if that does a little bit more damage. It looks like it does. And if I would have had web on her at the same time, I think that would have even been better. Oh my god. Alright, I don't want to let them get a dropship though. She's doing a really good job at evading me actually. It's still 50 seconds. I don't think there's any way that she gets a dropship, but she did well. That should be it. Yep. Alright. That was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.